Here we are at question 11 of Reading Comprehension, Drill Set 3's second passage, and we've got the highlight tool ready. We're going to read the question stem and identify what we're being asked to do. So it reads, according to the passage, in their historical approach, the Annales scholars blank. So I'm going to just highlight this last clause, in their historical approach, the Annales scholars blank. So I need to identify what subject we're concerned with, and it's clearly the Annales scholars and what they did in their historical approach. And you always want to go begin your search for specific terms and locations by looking at your highlighted sentences. And you'll note that our first highlighted sentence begins with "for the Annales scholars." So let's read a sentence above and a sentence below, and then predict in our own words what the Annales scholars did in their historical approach. So it reads, together with colleagues like Lucien Febvre, Bloch aspired to reform the way history was studied, taught, and written about. For the Annales scholars, history's central subject was not political events and leaders, but human beings whose world was to be rediscovered through research into the evidence concerning topics as diverse as fields, forests, huts, chapels, and counting rooms, as well as libraries, courtrooms, and palaces. The task of the historian for these scholars was not merely to publish facts that speak for themselves, as positivists maintain. So we can just highlight what we've got as the historical approach. And it really comes from this sentence after our highlighted sentence, discussing the task of the historian, which is to not merely publish the facts, as the positivists, some other group, had maintained. And we can continue reading a little bit and see that instead the historian's supposed to take a more active interpretive role. We don't need to highlight a bunch. And in fact, we want to avoid highlighting too much. But if you're going through this and you've addressed all of the main idea questions at this point, you can be a little bit more liberal in highlighting in a different color to focus on what the relevant subject matter is for this particular question. So we're going to cross-check our answer choices now with our highlight tool still selected to mark reasons to eliminate as we go. We're going to check against what we have in yellow and our mental prediction that basically these Annales scholars were focusing on the facts, but not just to make them speak for themselves, but to interpret those facts. So then, choice A, emphasize the need to abstain from sweeping generalizations about past societies. Sweeping generalizations. Oh, I mean, maybe there might be a generalization, but it doesn't say they have to abstain from doing so. There might be a sweeping generalization that you can glean from whatever the interpretation is. So choice A is ultimately extreme, and we can eliminate really for that word of abstain. Then choice B, stress the primacy of economic forces in determining the nature of a culture. Well, economic forces, we do have the term economic here, but that's not the primacy of economic forces. So that word primacy definitely is a bit extreme. We can eliminate choice B, hopefully, for that reason. Then choice C, rely primarily on evidence from archival sources. Well, no, they want to go straight to the source: fields, forests, huts, chapels. So choice C is a direct reversal of the information in the passage. Then choice D, emulated the successes of their positivist predecessors. Well, no, they were different than the positivists. They were not going to just publish facts that speak for themselves. So choice D is also going to be a bit of a tone reversal. And then choice E, explored aspects of a bygone culture that its contemporaries might have taken for granted. Well, this is the kind of bland answer choice that it's too easy to say, well, this is out of scope, because we're thinking, who are the contemporaries? Well, the contemporaries would have been whoever would have made the facts speak for themselves. It may have also even been some of these positivist historians or archivists. So choice E definitely is the right answer because they are concerned with what had happened before that had been overlooked. And that's how we know this is right, because we're concerned with the aspects of the culture that might have been taken for granted. And that's how you can get to the correct answer on what may be a little bit more of a tricky problem in a reading comprehension passage such as this. If you enjoyed this LSAT reading comprehension explanation video, please consider liking it or subscribing to our channel so that you'll be alerted when new explanation videos are produced by my guru. Also, check out the description below because within it, you'll find links to full prep test sets of explanations as well, and some additional links that can help you as you walk your LSAT journey. And remember that Applying to law school is supposed to be hard.